Hey guys, it's your favorite girl, Ashanti J, and I'm back again with another video. Make sure you click the subscribe button, like this video, comment down below, and you know what to do. Share with your mommy, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your auntie. Share everybody so they can see the good content I'm throwing down. Today's video is new to my channel. I will be showing y'all how I got this pink roots wig, and I'll be showing y'all the install. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. And if you like this kind of content, let me know down below and tell all them hair companies to sponsor your girl, because come on now, I did my thing. Don't play. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Watch the video all the way to the end, and I will see you guys later. Okay guys, so we're gonna start off with everything that came with the wig. So first it came with 2 stocking caps, a pair of lashes, and of course the wig, like every other hair package ever. One thing that I really appreciated about the wig was that the lace was very thin, which will help the install process. The knots were very small, which made it easier to bleach. And it came with 3 inner combs, an elastic band that's sewed in to help make the wig tighter. Okay, so this is everything that I used to process the hair. I used 30 and 20 developer because I ran out of 30, but I would prefer that people use 30 and 40. I use BW bleach, Temptations pink petal, and rose pink dye, hair clips, a brush, a comb, dyeing brush, and a dyeing bowl, and of course the wig on a stand. So in this portion of the video, you just see me parting out sections of the hair. I'm parting out the front that goes across the left side of my head, which is the direction I want my side part to go. And I already mixed my bleach. I mixed my bleach a little runny this time, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not bleaching knots or anything, I'm just bleaching hair. But you can make it a little more thick in consistency when you're doing this part. And as you can see, I wanted more of a gradient style, so I didn't go all the way down to the ends of the hair. I stopped about midway, and I really was just trying to concentrate on the roots more than anything, because I wanted those to get the lightest so we can take all of the pink dye. Right now, I'm just taking foil and I'm using my comb to press it down on the hair to make it flat. And then I wrap the top parts of the root so I can cover those as well. Then I proceeded to turn the wig, and I wanted the pink roots to go all the way up into my side part. So I took the side that would have the side part, and I parted that out and applied the bleach to just that part of the hair. I split it in half because you want to do really thin sections to make sure that you're catching every single strand and that every single strand could be processed evenly, because you need it to be somewhat light depending on how you want the pink. The more pink you want the hair, the longer you'll leave the bleach on, the thinner you'll do your parts. But for me, I didn't really want my hair that pink. I wanted more of a muted pink, so I didn't leave the bleach on that long, which you guys will see in the next clip. So only the roots look more orange instead of blonde, and that was intentional because I didn't want it to be like a hot pink. I didn't stress this part of the video too much, but you don't want to push the dye down on the lace, or else you will tint the lace. So I just took my brush, I went in taking my time, and I didn't really show you guys that because exactly what you did with the bleach, you're gonna do with the dye, and cover all the parts of the hair that you want to turn pink. Now to the portion of the video that probably everybody wants to see, the installation part. So first I put on my stocking cap and I carry it down all the way to my eyes. Then I take my Got2b glue spray and I spray it across my hairline, or at least what is left of my hairline, and I carry that from ear to ear. Then I take my blow dryer on high setting on cool temperature, and I hold down the cool button to make sure that the air that's coming out is cold as I dry the spray that I put on my hairline. With this portion of the video, you'll see me put up 3, and that's because I did 3 layers. I was not putting up the OK sign. I was putting up 3 layers because that's how many layers I use. Then I proceed to cut out the air tabs on both sides because that helps the ball cap stay down on the ear part, because that is the most important part of the wig. I take my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in 355 and just a flat makeup brush, and I cover the entire front of my head because you gotta look bold. You gotta make sure it's brown just like your skin. Then I go with my scissors, just cutting, and I'm cutting along the lines of my hairline. This is very important because you do not want the stocking cap to show in front of the lace, and you also do not want your wig to come down too far trying to cover the stocking cap. So you follow your hairline to the T. You don't want it to be too long or too close to your eyebrows, I should say, and you don't want it to be too far back, or else you won't be protecting your edges. So I just finished doing this on both sides, making sure that I cut all the way down, and then I go back in and I cut off all the straggling parts of the stocking cap because you also need it to be flat. This is an installation, honey, and you need the lace to be laid. So you want to go in and cut off all the little parts that are sticking up at the top of the stocking cap to make sure that it is flat. Now I'm just going back in with a little bit more foundation to cover the front because it's looking a little ashy. And then I'm going to go with my alcohol and a cotton pad, and I'm going to clean off all the foundation that is left on my skin, along with oils and any other dirt that is there. Back to regular programming. I use Ghost Bond and a wooden stick. I bought a bunch of these wooden sticks off of Amazon, and I just use that. I put 1 dot on the stocking cap and 1 on my forehead, and I follow that all the way up to the sides of my ears. And then I just take my wooden stick and I go in and I blend that out. And you want to blend it out very thin. You do not want to put too little bit of glue because obviously the wig will not stick. So you want to put enough glue, but the important part is that you blend it out as thin as possible so that it can dry all the way through for when you have to put on the 2 additional layers on top of this. So it's not that you want to put a little bit amount of glue, but it's that you want to put enough glue but blend it out very thinly. After I blend it out from ear to ear, I go in with my blow dryer on cold and just blow dry that until it is clear. Then I follow that by 2 other layers, and right now I'm just tinting the lace. I didn't have any lace spray, but I'm starting to not like lace spray. I like just doing this method where I just take my foundation and I rub that on the inside of the wig. I feel like it blends better to my skin, so that's what I'm doing. That's how the wig came out. That's the pink color that came out, and I really like it. Right now, I'm just cutting off the back part, the back lace, because you won't need that. and I'm adjusting my elastic band to make sure that the wig fits my head perfectly. Along with a good install, with the good laying of the glue, you also want your wig to be tight enough so that it could, help with that. I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. So now I'm just putting on my wig. I drag it all the way down to the front of the glue, and then I press it in. I'm gonna go get my comb, and I'm just gonna run the comb through the hair, pressing it down onto the glue at the same time. And I do that from the middle, then I go down to the left, and then I go on the other side to the right. This is so key, and I feel like a lot of tutorials leave this part out, but this is so key that people really should learn how to do. I take a clip and I clip up the excess hair that is around my ear, and then I find where my ear is and cut out a semicircle. I would say a semicircle around my ear. This way, when you press down the wig and you fix it across your ear, it can look natural when you pick it up or move it. That's very important and very important when laying a wig. Now I'm going in with spritz. The spray part of my bottle stopped working, but I do like to use spritz. I got a new bottle, so y'all don't come for me. And on top of my spritz, I still use my Got To Be Free spray and go in right across the top of the lace where the glue is before I put my elastic band on. A little trick after putting the elastic band on is to also dry the hairspray that you just used. I don't know, but this has helped when I am laying my wigs when I do this part. While my hair is setting underneath the elastic band, I go in and figure out my part. It depends on the hairstyle that I'm doing. If I'm doing a half up, half down, I'll start making my ponytail at this part. Like whatever the hairstyle is that I'm doing, I start to prepare it while I have my elastic band on. After I make my side part, I go in with my hot comb and I just press down both sides of the hair, because obviously you want your hair to be flat. Like that's a must. After pressing both sides out until I'm content with it, I go in with my scissors and I cut 3 slits across the front of my lace. Then I take an eyebrow blade, I raise up the front of the lace, and then I go in and I start cutting away at the lace. You want to cut really, really close to the front strands of the hair. This is important because you do not want a bunch of lace to be left on your forehead. When you leave too much lace on your forehead, you will not get the lace wear comment, because it's going to be hard to hide that lace. So you want to cut off as much lace as possible. That is the goal, to cut off as much lace as possible so that you can have the most flawless install. And that's what I'm doing here on the right side of my head. After doing this, I do the same thing to the left side, and then I follow that by going in with my hairspray and just making sure that I get any flyaways after cutting, because you're cutting with a razor, so you're going to get a little rigidness. So I go in with my hairspray, getting all that the razor may have lifted up, and then I follow that with my elastic band. If you're a real wig installation queen, you know that your band be looking crazy. If your band is not looking crazy, you don't really install wigs for real. I just want y'all to know. Now I'm just going in, and after you use the hairspray, the front of the hair is going to be a little hard, I would say. So you're going to go in with your comb, you're going to comb that out, make sure that's nice and fluffy. And this is how I make my baby hairs. Honestly, it's hard for me to do my baby hairs on camera, but I tried my best. Even though I struggled in this tutorial, I can do my baby hairs, but when the camera's on, everything goes left. What I'm doing here is just taking out a half circle from the hairline, and I'm pulling those hairs down to the front. As you can see the little half circle that's left in the back of the hair. And then I do the same thing on the sideburns part. This all depends on what kind of baby hairs you want to do. I wanted it to be real simple with one swoop in the front and my sideburns. Sometimes you do 2 swoops, sometimes you want to do 2 swoops and a swirl. So it all depends on how you want your baby hairs done, but this is how I do mine. Well, this is how I did mine for this hairstyle. After I pull out my semicircles, I just go in with my tweezer and I pluck away a little bit to make sure that the baby hairs is not thick. Nobody wants thick baby hairs. It makes your wig look it makes your hair look very unnatural. So no thick baby hairs. Go in, pluck it out, make sure that it's nice and thin. Then followed by that, I go in and just cut the hairs, because also you cannot have long baby hairs. That just doesn't exist. That's adult hairs. And this is a new thing that I've seen. I go in with my mini flat iron and I curl the hair away from my face to get a nice neat curl. This helps with the baby hairs so much because it makes them nice and effortless. And then I take my mousse and my edge brush. I put the mousse on and I just go in and I start brushing down the hair, making my C's. That's the motion of your hand when you're doing baby hairs. You want to make little C's until you get the curve or the swoop that you're looking for. Little tiny C's. That's the best way for me to explain it. But yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I really hated how this edge came out on camera. But now looking back at it, it really wasn't that bad. But it just wasn't to my liking. So I ended up fixing it when I got off camera. But you're just making little C's until you like how it looks. Just a side note, you do not have to use mousse. When I first started doing wigs, I never used to use mousse, but I like the fluffy edge look now. So when the mousse dries, you go back in and comb it out and it's nice and fluffy. But if you don't want to use mousse, you don't have to. I would just say stay away from like really water-based gels or anything like that, because that will lift back up your lace. So you might want to use like a tad bit of edge control, if you want to use the Got To Be glue hairspray, like different things like that will help the lace to stay down. But anything that's water based or oil based for your edges, I'd say stay away from. And that's why I use the mousse, because when it dries, it doesn't infringe on the lace. thank you for making it to the end of my video. This hair held up really well with all the processing and everything that I had put it through. I'm gonna insert pictures of me curling it and finalizing the edges like how I want them. But it's about 1 a.m. right now, so I'm gonna take myself to bed. I hope that this video was really informative and that you learned how to do this hairstyle. And if it was, make sure you give your girl a like, comment, and share with your mom, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your auntie. Share with everybody. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl, AJ, and I'm out.
Yeah.